Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am trying to talk as loud as I can. It's raining outside. I've closed all the windows, but if there is any sort of audio disturbance, please bear with me. If you've seen my previous videos, my mic had some issue and I've sent it back and I'm yet to receive a replacement or a refund. Let's just see what happens. But content has to go on even if I'm sick. I might be looking sick, it's probably because I am. I got a throat infection, so stay safe, don't go out in the rain, drink hot water. So today's video is going to be all about how much I spent on my beauty pageants. Now this is a very popular question I get almost on an everyday basis. I get so many DMs from girls asking me how much do I have to spend on pageants, are pageants expensive, and things like that. And this is going to be like a series where I will be telling you how much I spent on each pageant. So it's not going to be like all pageants together, but I will go back in the direction. So I will be first talking about Miss Queen of India, which has been my recent pageant where I won the crown. Previously I did Vanita Miss Kerala, so like I will backtrack and I will tell you as much as I can remember, because I don't really remember how much I spent for my old pageants. It's been quite long back. I have written down all of the stuff so that I don't forget, and this is the first time I think I've written down like stuff for a video, because I'm usually someone who just puts the camera and just sits and speaks. So before we jump into the video, there is a certain disclaimer I want to give, and this disclaimer stands true for all of the videos coming forward in this series. Now what I'll be representing here are just amounts that I have spent. Now there are certain expenses that are like non-avoidable, like unavoidable, right? Yeah, like your grooming fee or a registration fee the pageant may have. So based on that, the expenses that you could have for each pageant is very different. And also even the other stuff that I would be spending on, you might not spend on it maybe if you have it with you already, or if you're a newbie you might have to spend on certain things that I already had because I was into this industry. So make sure that you see this video with that sort of angle, that I'm only going to be representing a range by the end of this video, because I don't really want you to get an exact amount idea, because it could be less or more than what I am spending based on where you're at and where you come from and what are the accessibility stuff that you have. Are you an existing model or an existing person, content creator who has access to things, and etc. So a lot of factors comes into play, and I will not be able to give you an exact idea about how much you should be spending, but I hope this video gives you an idea of how much you should be saving up in case you're planning to save up, or how much you would be actually requiring in case you want to arrange for the funds. So firstly, this video is going to go like this. First, I will represent the general expenses that a pageant would need. Now, the general expenses I will be mentioning in each video is specific to that pageant. It's not a general pageant expense video, but most videos you will find that it's quite similar. So that will be mentioned first. Secondly, I will mention how much I have spent for each of the mentioned expenses. And thirdly, we'll calculate it together and we will find out how much we actually spent. Now, this video, I've been keeping it away because I really didn't want to go back and see how much I spent, because some pageants I've spent a lot, girls. Yes. Yeah. Let's jump right to the video. The first thing that you would require as an expense in a pageant is the registration fee. Now, a lot of pageants charge a registration fee, and this is something that is quite common in pageantry. So if you're very new to this, you may have to pay a certain amount. But this is not universally true, because pageants run by Pegasus, which is Miss Queen Kerala, Miss South India, and Miss Queen of India. They also have international as well as Mrs. and Teen pageants. So these pageants do not have any registration or any grooming fee. So this is not completely universal. This depends on your pageant of how much they charge. For example, if you're applying for Femina Miss India, you usually pay a fee of 2,000 to 2,500, and you also get a set of recorded videos that they provide in terms of training. So it's usually said that it's a fee that you pay for that, but it's generally a registration fee. Now, Femina did not have a registration fee back in the day, but they've introduced it right now. If you're applying for Vanita Miss Kerala, there is a registration fee involved there as well. So this is basically where you register yourself even before auditioning or getting selected. Paying this fee does not say that you are going to get selected for it. It's just to register yourself for you to send your application. The second kind of fee that you require is grooming fee. Now, some pageants or most pageants in today's time and age do charge a grooming fee. Now, this fee is basically included for your travel, stay, and to afford your groomers and things like that. A lot of pageants in Kerala have a lot of grooming fee, hefty grooming fee in fact, And if you are looking for some pageants where you don't have any grooming fee, Pegasus pageants are there. Even Femina Miss India or Miss Diva does not have a grooming fee. Basically, this grooming fee is going to cover all your grooming expenses. It is going to cover your expenses for your stay, travel, etc. while you're there with the pageant. Now, a grooming process is generally what happens before a pageant. It could be from 5 days, 3 days, 1 day, depending upon where your pageant is happening, what sort of organization it is, whether it's a state, national, or an international pageant. Now, grooming fee is also basically ranges from a lot of amounts. There are pageants with grooming fee of 6,000 and 5,000 to pageants that charge you 1.5 lakhs as well. So there is a huge range of this. So based on your budget, based on the reach of the pageant, based on your personality and what you want to go for, choose your pageant ideally. The third kind of fee that comes in is your outfits required for grooming. Now, while they charge a grooming fee, they won't provide you outfits for the grooming sessions. Like for example, you may have ramp walk sessions, quest dancer sessions. Most pageants do not provide you outfits. They may give you a list of outfits that you require, maybe in the colors and things like that if they're very specific about it. But some pageants don't. But most pageants will give you a list of certain stuff that you require to have. Maybe it could be a cocktail dress, a black dress, sportswear, etc., which is certainly stuff you need to have. So if you're somebody who doesn't have these stuff, you may need to borrow it from somebody, you may need to buy it, or you may even need to sort of lend it out, or if you're somebody who doesn't have all these things, you will have to spend on it. So that's an additional fee that will come to you for outfits for grooming. Why is it important is because most pageants, the judgment begins right when you've already arrived at the pageant. So it becomes very important for you to look put together and really represent yourself well. So most pageants are also about personal grooming and how you're going to represent yourself. So make sure you carry good outfits for your grooming, and you don't always have to spend a lot. There are so many thrift stores that sell really good outfits for very less prices as well. The fourth kind of expense that would come is your heels. Now, most pageants require heels of a specific color. They usually say nude, black, silver, and gold. Some pageants only ask for nude. Some pageants will ask for nude as well as black. And let me tell you, it's not block heels, it's not wedges, it's only stilettos, the pointed heels. Now, why I say that is because stilettos will be mandatory in so many pageants. If you're going to pursue pageantry for a long term, then make sure you invest in a good pair of heels, and heels can be a little expensive. So if you're beginning out, you may need to invest in your heels and make sure that you buy heels that are comfortable to you. Most pageants will say that you need heels above 4 inches because that's how the thing works. So you need to really buy heels of 5 inches or 4.5 inches or 6 inches. If you're a shorter person, make sure you invest in 6 or 7 inch heels and make sure you practice them well beforehand you go to the pageant. The next kind of expense is your personal grooming expenses. Now, personal grooming involves your skin care, your hair care, and your waxing, threading procedures, etc. In most pageants, when you go, you need to have your eyebrows threaded, you need to have clear skin. You can have dark spots, acne marks, etc. It's not a problem, but make sure you are working towards it to contain it, or maybe work towards, making sure that you're put together when you go for the pageant. It's not a problem you have these skin issues, but make sure you're working on them, because when you go to pageants, you are probably going to apply makeup on an everyday basis, so your skin might get irritated. So make sure you're taking proper medication, or you're going to a dermat and making sure your skin is properly healed before you enter into pageants. Make sure you also carry products that will certainly contain those things, because if the makeup artists are going to be applying makeup onto you, you should make sure you mention these things as well to them. So your personal grooming expenses will include a visit to the dermatologist to maybe check your hair and skin, etc. This also involves doing your nails. Now, you don't always have to get gel extensions, although it's very much advised. You can go with long nails or short nails, but it has to be painted nude. And mostly when you go to a pageant, it's very preferable to have long nails. So that's why they prefer you to get gel extensions. With nude nail polish, it can have a little bit of glitter. Some pageants say no, but you can always get your French tips. That's always going to be, the safest choice for you to have. Now, if you're somebody who has all these things, you won't have to invest separately into it. But if you're somebody who is very new to all of this, you might have to spend a little bit to take care of your skin. Now, going to a dermatologist or a hair care person is not always mandatory. I never used to do that. But you also need to know how to take care of your skin and hair really well, because your hair is also going through a lot of heat and styling and stuff like that. So you need to make sure your hair is healthy. It's also, damage controlled, and you don't really go back with really bad hair after a pageant. So make sure you take care of these things, invest in a good shampoo and conditioner, make sure you use heat protectant, etc. The next kind of expense is your makeup expense. Now, if you're somebody who's already doing your makeup, you know how to do basic makeup, this won't be a big expense for you because you've already been doing it. But if you're quite new, you would have to invest in makeup and all of these things, because makeup for grooming sessions is mostly done by the contestant itself. And for the finale, they do provide makeup artists for most pageants, but some pageants you also have a choice to do your own makeup or hire a makeup artist. Now, in this case, you need to have basic makeup skills. It's very mandatory to know how to do your makeup and hair for a pageant. So, your makeup is something that you need to be actually investing in. Make sure that you have good products. And if you want me to make a video on how to do a pageant makeup for the grooming, for the audition, etc., I will make a video. So, like this video, and if I get more than 100 likes on this video, I will certainly make a video on that. And comment down below so that I know that you love such videos. Along with makeup, you also need to be having hairstyling tools, a basic straightener and a curler, because these are two things that will be required for you to do your hair for your grooming sessions. Now, basically loose curls or all of these bouncy hair is very much preferred. Even when you're going for your feminams and your auditions, if you've seen my video, you will know it, but if not, it's linked in the description box. You are usually required to do your own makeup. There will be makeup stations there, but hardly like 10 to 15 makeup artists and thousands of girls. You may not always get a chance to do your full makeup and hair there. You may only get a chance to touch up and barely sometimes. So make sure you know how to do your own hair and makeup so that you're really well put together when you go for your auditions as well as your grooming sessions. And that is a skill required as a pageant girl. The next kind of expense that would come for you is the finale outfit expense. Now, some pageants will require you to buy a finale outfit. Like for example, the pageants are run by Pegasus. Now, because they don't have any grooming fee or registration fee, they usually ask the contestants to get the finale outfits. There are usually 3 rounds and they will give you a PDF as to what outfits you need to carry. Now, based on that, you need to carry your outfits. Now here, if you're somebody who doesn't really have contacts where you can collaborate with brands, or you can get brands to sponsor you or give you outfits, or you want to rent out, these are options for you, or you can lend it out from your friends. If not, you will have to spend it out of your pocket to buy. So this may be an added expense for you. So make sure that you know how to handle these as well. Now let's come to the most interesting part of the video. How much did I spend for Miss Queen of India? Now, I just want to say that this is probably the only pageant where I haven't spent a lot, and it's quite like according to the other pageants, this is quite on the less expensive side. So let's go in and check out. The registration fee, there was no registration fee, that's 0 rupees. Grooming fee, absolutely nothing, 0. Outfits for grooming, we were asked to get some formal outfits, so I did have formal blazers and pants and things like that, so I didn't have to spend. But I did get a dress for the grooming, so that cost me 799 rupees. For the finale outfits, I had to carry 3 outfits with me. First was a pink lehenga, second was a blue cocktail, and third was a golden beige gown. So the first round outfit, I got it on collaboration with Date the Ram, so I did not spend any rupee there. The second round, I got the outfit from Savannah, and I spent around 1500 to 1800 rupees along that range. And third outfit again was on collab from Hollywood, so I got again that for free, so that was 0 rupees. Heel expenses, I already had heels with me, so I didn't have to separately purchase them, so that is again 0 rupees. Hairstyling tools and makeup, I definitely had them with me, so I didn't have to spend a lot. Skincare and basic grooming, I just did my threading, no facials, no hair care, no hair spa, nothing, so that just cost me 30 rupees. Travel expenses to the pageant. Usually travel within the pageant is covered by the organization, but you may need to travel to the location. That is also something you need to be taking care of, but that is something that's quite self-explanatory. That is why I didn't mention it. So I took a cab to my pageant. So the travel expenses from this pageant was quite less for me because it was happening in the same state and the same city that I was living in. So I just took an Uber that was around 1000 rupees. In total, I am just telling a range. I might have spent, based on travel within the city as well, I might have spent around 2500 to 3500 rupees. That's all I've spent for this pageant, and I know it is quite less only because there was no grooming fee and only because I had some experience, so I had all of these things that I required. If you're somebody who's starting out, you may need to invest in a lot of things that I did not invest in, like heels, makeup, and all of those stuff. So if you loved this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will be coming back with the next video where I will be telling you how much I spent for Vanita Miss Kerala, and that's going to be quite an amount. It's not going to be in this range. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.